All right, what up, what up, what up? It is that guy Dub, and I'm back with another video. How you guys doing at the end of the day? Shouty, I'm good and money. Now today, we've got a special guest in the building. You said she's multi-talented. She's an authoress, Miss Yvette Parker. How we doing?
I'm doing good.
So what's going on new in your life?
Well, right now I'm working on my book still. I'm ghost writing. I'm trying to start. I'm doing a t-shirt line. So I've been pretty busy.
Okay, nothing wrong with that. You said so like how does one get started? You saying like in you said writing a book because you said we all sit there we want to tell our story or tell a story, but don't know the first thing that comes to doing something like that. So how do you get started in something like that?
The first thing you do, you have to come up with your concept of what you want to write about. Um, the best thing to do is do an outline. You'll get it done faster. You can either do it yourself, like self-published. I went through Amazon, or you can try to find a traditional publisher and go the traditional route, but that takes a little bit longer. I like being an indie author because I have control over everything and I don't have to wait on anybody. I can just do what I want to do when I want to do it, and I don't have to do it around what they want me to do.
Okay. Now, like when you generate your concepts for using your books or using your stories, like where does it come from? You saying like come from real life experience? Does it come from you saying like stuff you may have heard from friends, or you like what is your process? Using like
My process is it's life experiences, things that I've been. It's not really stuff that I've been through. It's more like things that I've heard and different things that I've seen. So I have all these ideas in my head, and they just come out into paper. Like I have real active imagination also, so that comes into play also.
okay. Now you said like a lot of people use it, especially in the writing space, they get in trouble because they tell too much of a story. Like you remember the movie The Best Man. You said the
Right.
story was a little too real. You know what I'm saying? So like how do you navigate in between you said like embellishing a story and then telling actual
Yeah,
facts?
I'm not telling. Everything I do is fictional. It's not based on anybody or any. So no one can like get upset with me about it or anything because it's nothing that really happened. So I stick away from telling people stories unless people come to me and they want me to specifically write something about them. Then that's something that we already discussed. So I don't have to worry about any backlash like on the best man.
Right. Okay. And you said right now out there in the world, how many books do you have out right now?
Right now I only have two out,
You know, I have both of them, but
and I appreciate your support.
it's not a problem. You said that's what we do. You say now how do people if somebody wanted to go on Amazon as you mentioned a second ago, you said how you said what would they type in to find either of your books?
You would just type in Yvette Arthur, and you could either type in the title Jezebel or Twisted Love, and they would come up. Or you can go to Author Central, and you could type in Yvette Parker, and then I have the two titles under my name there, and it'll just take you straight to them.
Okay. Now, with that being said, you thanked me a second ago for the support. You said like how important is it? You said that, like you have a strong support system around you because like you said like I've been doing this YouTube thing for a while and you supported me as well. You just so like it was naturally easy for me to support you as well. You just so like and we've got other people in our circle of friends that you said we've also supported. You know, said like how
Right.
important is a tight knit support system in delving into, like I said, me with the YouTube and Redline, or you with you said being an author, and you said you was talking about your T-shirt line that you're coming up with as well. How important is that tight knit support system?
It's very, I mean, it's very necessary to have a support system because you can do anything, but if nobody knows you're out there, then it's going nowhere. So you need that support system to help you push your product, put your name out there because word of mouth goes a long way. And you know how we use social media. So the more people you have in your circle that are, putting your name out there, then their followers pick you up, then that helps you also. So I would say you have to have a support system. I mean, yeah, just going out there and doing it is one thing, but it's something that you really need to research and make sure that you have your team behind you also. Like, it's very important to have that.
Right. You said there was a saying that my father would say to us growing up. You said like this train doesn't have any sleeper cars. Basically, meaning saying you can't have, saying, weak links around you. Now,
Right.
you personally, you saying like, because we've all had to weed out a weak link or two. You said, how do you weed out a weak link? You saying when you're trying to progress forward in something you're endeavoring in.
Well, it's easy because you can tell who's really supporting you and you can tell who's there to try to reap the benefits of what you're doing and you can tell the people that are hating on you. So
Mm,
what I do is the people that they have they're always something negative. I feel like they always have something negative to say, no matter what you're trying to do. Like you have to get those people from around you. And also people that aren't really doing anything, like you can't be around them either because they'll eventually start hating on your success also. You need people that are greater than you or on your same level when you're trying to do this kind of thing because all the rest of those kind of people will bring you down.
absolutely. Now, you said like, what is your process when it comes to promotion? Because, like, you can have people like a me or people like everybody that's in the group or whatever. You said to use it, hit the share button or to use it to buy your book or to buy your T-shirt. Use it. What? How important is branding and marketing to you outside of using that group?
Basically my whole thing is I network a lot and outside of my circle. So that helps push my products. And sometimes I do buy ads and things like that, also to push it to more people.
Mm,
And I search my demographics and all that stuff, and see who is really my demographic, and I try to push my stuff towards them and get it out there. You have to do other avenues besides just your friends, family, etc.
mm.
You have to step out because, like they always say, strangers will support you more than people that you actually know.
Big facts on that. Now, you said I brought up marketing. You said like now, to everybody that doesn't know, you saying if you guys are familiar to the show, you saying you know that this guy right here, this is Little Dub. You saying it's like so I try to do different things to market myself and to brand myself. Using I've reached out on using whether it's Instagram or whether it's YouTube, whether it's TikTok or Snapchat, things like that. It's like some of these platforms can be so annoying and filled with nonsense.
Right. You get a lot of scammers, like people hitting you up, wanting you, being like, "Oh, I can help you," but they really
Mm-mm,
can't help you, and you have to learn how to maneuver through that mess and not, waste your money on that type of thing. Like it's every time somebody hits you up, if you really think that the product could help you push it, or you want them to do your logo or help you with your branding or anything like that, you have to research them
mm.
and see, what they have done for other people and can they really get you results. That's like a big thing that you have to do with that.
Absolutely. No, you just now, especially when the social media space. I know you've been used like to the point where you're getting stars and stuff for like your posts and things like that. I gotta get back to posting more because I mean I have the ability to do it. I haven't really been pushing it. I've been like more focused on using Redline. I've been focused on my YouTube channel and things like that. Now, there are so many avenues, whether it be because let's just say it, OnlyFans, use it like because it's not necessarily just because you think OnlyFans, it doesn't mean that you're just everybody's naked on OnlyFans. No, you actually got people that are here to literally pushing knowledge or like a Patreon or using other avenues like that. Is like, have you ever you said maybe thought about reaching out to like other platforms like a Patreon or OnlyFans to like using to bring more?
I've thought about Patreon, but I'm trying to grow my following up before I jump on those kind of things because I want, the goal is to get yourself out there and to reach them, but you also want to make money while you're doing it. So
Mm,
if you don't have a following, then you're not really going to do too well. So what
right.
I'm trying to do is build my following up on all my platforms, my Twitter, my Facebook, and my Instagram. And then I want to go out to the broader platform and try to, take those people with me and then gain some more. That's
Right.
that's the way I want to do that.
Okay. Well, another thing I also talk about on my platform is because when we deal with, especially in the social media sphere, we deal with a lot of bullshit, especially in the comment section. Now, you said now, you being in social media, like, what's something you would? you saying, I guess, teach to your children about dealing with the comment section, because the comment section can be brutal as hell. And so a lot of people and a lot of these younger folks are, and hell, some of these older folks are not able to navigate the comment section the way you said thicker skinned people would be. So what advice would you give to somebody about the comment section?
Well, the comment section, yeah, you're gonna get negativity. But the thing is that if you're monetized, you're getting paid for those negative comments. What
Mm.
you do is you ignore the negativity and you go for the people that are positive. That's what you do, because that if you look at all the negative comments, you'll be hurt every day. Like you really would, because people just, I don't know, it's like people are miserable and they get on social media and they'll sit and they'll bash other people that are doing things that they wish they could do, or they want to ask them but they don't know how, so then they attack them instead of asking them for advice or anything like that. You have to ignore that stuff and take it with a grain of salt, or
Yeah,
you'll be upset every day. And learn how,
absolutely.
right. And you have to take breaks from social media too. Even though you want to push your content and things like that, you can schedule your stuff, when to publish it and things like that, and make sure you take a break and just reset yourself, because if you're on it all day, every day, and no breaks, it'll start getting to you.
Absolutely. Now, you speaking of, you said in the comment section, and somebody that's getting beat up on social media right now, this Carly Russell situation. You just like, so what advice would you give to this young lady that's being brutalized on social media right now?
She just need to log off. I'm gonna be honest. There's nothing that she could say right now. I mean, she just basically just needs to log off, and her family also, they need to get off social media and handle whatever they have going on. We can't say what it is or what it ain't. I mean, we all know what we think after we saw the facts, but she
Mhm.
just needs to log off and don't say nothing. I think that would be the best approach. Sometimes silence is best, and that's what I think in this situation.
Right now, you said, and like right now, you said one thing that we do here at Redline, we do a men's health summit. We also do a women's health summit. You said a good friend of mine, Miss Jessica Steffi, she just did the women's health summit about a month ago, and their topic was accountability for women. And you said when we do the men's health summit, we deal with accountability for men on a regular basis. Now, they were saying that I was reading that with Carly Russell, she just was terminated from her job, and but they were also you talking about using her mental state or her possibly having mental health issues, using or things like that. Do you think that just because you may have a mental health episode or issue, you said, do you think that being like termination from your job should be included in the accountability aspect? You said of you, like I said, holding her accountable.
I don't believe she's getting terminated for her mental health issues, though. Now, it is the fact of the missing, from the job. Like we all heard that they
Mm-hmm.
said that they showed that. I'm not gonna get too into that. Um, I feel like, as far as her case goes, she should be terminated. I think that she needs help, obviously, from this situation. That's what that's showing. So that was something that needed to be done, and is justified, because like you say, you can do anything you want to do, but those actions have consequences, and she's gonna have to feel these consequences for this.
And unfortunately, it means that like another thing is that like another thing I've been hearing a lot here lately, and I just wanted to pick your brain about is because a lot of people have sit there and said that she set especially black women back is because a lot of times black women's stories when they become to these types of situations and scenarios that they're not heard, they're not using taken as seriously as somebody with a blonde hair or blue eyes. You saying we're not making it racial, we're just making an observation. But you says like, do you think that may have done a huge detriment to our black women that are actually out here being abducted for real?
Unfortunately, we don't have the luxury of being separated and judged individually. So
Mm.
one person's actions blanketly affect everyone else. So I do feel like that her doing this hoax, because let's be real about it. That's what it is. Her doing this hoax set us back, because now when someone else does it, it might not get as much attention, or because we already weren't getting that much attention and just started getting it. I really do feel like it kind of pushed us back and set us back because we're judged collectively.
Mhm.
Um,
Now, with something like being that you're in the author space, you have reviews when it comes to Amazon and things like that. Now, you could sit there and because I've been seeing this a lot here, like especially if something becomes controversial, you'll get troll posts. You know what I mean? Or people who will jump in your reviews or in your comments, and it's like so it's almost like trying to sway the narrative. You know what I'm saying? Like that you may be some like the country singer with the song uh, whatever in my town or whatever. Now everybody's weighing in on social media about this. And he then came out and said, "Well, that's not what I meant. That I felt this way. This, that, and the third." So when you have a negative sway, how important is it for you to get out in front of it to like, no, this is my truth. This is what it is. You know, like the connotations that I'm getting over here is not me. So how important is it to you to stay in front of your own narrative?
um, when you mess up, it's important for you to beat them to the punch
Mm,
because if you don't beat them to the punch, then they get their own narrative out there, and then whatever you say after that, people are not really gonna listen to it. So it is important to get in front, and like you said in the Carly Russell situation, she didn't get in front of it, and everything is already came out now, so nothing she can say can bring her back. She can't redeem herself from this. So that's the thing about getting in front of it. You can redeem a bad situation because we've seen other people be able to do that. So it is important to get out in front of it. I do agree with you on that.
like in the time and space that we're in, where we deal with a lot of cancel culture. Is cancel culture a real thing to you?
Unfortunately, I feel like cancel culture is a bunch of BS, to be honest, because everybody is not supposed to agree on everything all the time. And just because someone doesn't have the same perspective, you shouldn't be able to just totally cancel them and it's over and done with, and this person's career is ruined, or etc. Like I really feel like we need to get away from cancel culture and go back to where we can debate things and
Mm,
have a difference of opinion, and it's respected. Like you believe this, I believe that, and that's that. But we're not like that. It's if you don't go along with what society's saying and you're against it, your point of view is different, then oh, let's cancel them. No, like we need to stop doing that.
right. Then you said, I've been dancing with cancel culture for a while, especially on here because you said my thoughts and opinions and my views. Since like me, I don't have a problem with anybody. I'm like, hey, do your thing. You said at the end of the day, but you said like I like to ask questions. You said like I had a guest not too long ago, and I was like, well, why does somebody get mad? Like if they were, like I said, transgender, and I was like, were you born you said a man? And then they basically said to me, well, it's not your business, so why ask? But if it comes down my shit, I can ask a question, right?
You see, I try to stay away from this.
Well,
I
no,
try
you
to
don't you don't have to touch it. I'm talking.
No,
I'm making my
but
stand.
I'm saying that's why I try to stay away from religion and I try to stay from that because
Mm,
once you disagree with that and you say something about it, then here they come. But I feel like if you want to put your business out there for the world, then why can't somebody ask you a question? Why are you gonna get upset about it? You put it out there. If you kept it
mm,
to yourself, then you wouldn't get the question. That's what I don't understand. If you are secure and happy with whatever you're doing,
mm.
then it shouldn't matter what other people think about it. Why does everybody have to agree with the way you live your life? I don't understand that. And I don't feel that people should be canceled because they don't agree with it. I feel like if you're happy, they're not bothering you, you don't bother them, then it is what it is. Let's just move on. I don't. It wouldn't be such a big deal if it wasn't made a big deal. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you've been a huge proponent, especially when it comes to online, and not only just making funny, witty, using comedic posts, but you've also using taking the time out to check on people's mental health. You said, where does that stem from, and how important is that to you to continue to do that?
Well, see, that's why I'm bringing back my podcast elevation because I feel like mental health is very important, and that's something that we neglect. And I know, like, sometimes people don't have a support system, and for a lot of people, because I'm an empath, people come to me and they talk to me, and I felt that. So that's what makes me get on social media and post encouraging things. I post, talk to people that I've never met in my life, and be an empathetic ear because I feel like that is my purpose. Like everybody has a purpose. I feel like that's my purpose. Like I'm a healer. Like I know that naturally. And I will continue to do that until I can't do it anymore.
And you saying that's a beautiful thing because you said I think that's almost like a dying art, if you will. You know, because
Right.
I had an analogy a couple of weeks ago where it's like have you ever watched boxing?
Yeah.
Okay, you said like after you said the boxers come out and they said protect yourself at all times. You said they go to their corners and they wait for the bell. You said it's like now we used to be able to wait for the bell. We come out, we have our debate, then we go back to our corners. I feel like people are too scared to come out of their fucking corner. You saying like to actually have the damn debate. So now we're all sitting in this fucking ring with everybody watching us. And you said because nobody wants to come out of their corner to actually stand on what they stand on. You know, and
Because
it's like
they're so scared. Because they're so scared of if they stand on what they stand on, then they like we were talking earlier, they'll get canceled. So
mhm,
everybody's holding everything in and they won't say anything. That's why I love Dave Chappelle so much. Because Dave Chappelle doesn't care. He says
mhm,
whatever he feels like he wants to say and doesn't care who has something to say about it. I
right.
feel like we should get back to being able to do that because without these discussions, then you can't like understanding can't come if you don't have the discussion.
Mhm,
I feel like it's needed, and a lot of things that are going on, like the discussions need to be had, and things could be cleared up because there are miscommunications on a couple of things,
mhm,
but like you said, we're not doing it. We're all just sitting around like knots on a log and not scared to say anything. Everybody wants to be politically correct,
mhm.
and that ain't the way the world works. Like, let's get real.
Right. You just said it's like now. I also feel that same kind of way, and I try to stay away from politics. And you said so we're going to gloss over it. You said, but I'm just going to make this point. It's like where certain people trying to erase certain aspects of history. You said, especially our history. He's like nobody's trying to tell you that you said like yes, this was done to us, so we should all hate each other. And like no, let's have the conversation and say why we shouldn't go back to that. You said,
Exactly.
but if you're just trying to erase the history, you said like you're trying to make it seem like it didn't exist. You said, which basically once again nullifying everything you said that us as Black people have been through. Because there's an author by the name of Dr. Royce DeJoy, and she has a book called "The Post Traumatic Slave Disorder." But also in that book, it talks about the post traumatic slave master syndrome. And it's like I think it's important for books like that and to have those conversations. So, like I said, if you want America to be more united, we need to have the conversation. Stop running from you saying the meat and potatoes in conversation because you can have a conversation without being mean, evil, spiteful, hateful, all that kind of stuff like that. And it's just like, and me personally, I just wish that we could actually get to where everybody is talking out the side of their neck saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I understand what you're saying because, there's things being passed, that are kind of heading back that way if we want to be real about it. And
Mm-hmm.
we're not talking about it because, other groups are getting protections that we still don't have. And it's like, we get symbolic things. They don't actually do anything for us. Like, where's our hate bill? We still don't have one. We
At
get
all.
Harriet Tubman on $20 bill or,
That they're still fighting.
yeah, like we don't get actual protection in the law. We don't have one. There's not been one law passed that actually helps. That I feel like. I feel like, we need to talk about this and, they don't want to discuss it. We don't talk about it like, oh, well, it has to start somewhere. It's been starting somewhere for over, since the legislation started like 50 years ago.
Mm.
and nothing's changed. Come on, let's be real. We should be further than we are now.
Yeah, absolutely. And then like certain bills, using like we say affirmative action or things like that. Using like certain bills have also been bastardized to basically more impact other races and genres of people. And there's nothing you said to that we're trying to take away from those other races or genres of people. But at the end of the day, you say, "Yo, we've been around this motherfucker." You said we built this motherfucker. You said like yes, it was yes, it was white people using to help Harriet Tubman using get using slaves using through the Underground Railroad. Yeah, we noticed that, we acknowledge that. You said that's dope. But at the end of the day, you saying like I feel like black people are still so left behind when it comes to a lot of these social issues. Now, you saying when it comes to the LGBTQIA plus community, you saying like they've taken a lot of steps and progressions that we you saying made thus far and basically bastardized them to where we're once again second class citizens again below even that particular class of people. And once again, we don't have a problem with any of them. But it's just like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like we're supporting you, support us, you know?
Right. But that's not the way it goes. And I feel like that's a lot of reason why so much focus is on that group, because it takes all takes all the eyes off us
Mm.
and what we don't have yet. And they push that agenda, then we're arguing about that, then we're glossing over what's going on with us as a whole and what we're still not receiving.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like there's not racism in that community too.
Right, and it is. There's lots of things that go on in that community that I'm not gonna go into, but
Right.
it's
We're gonna steer
still
away from that one.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, come on now, let's focus on something bigger. I'm not saying their issues are not big, if they are, but you've got the acceptance, you've got the protection, you've got the laws to protect you. We still don't have that. Can we
Mm.
get to that for us?
You said like I'm not even gonna lie to you, but the whole you said Ahmaud Arbery situation, I was shocked that it went you said the federal hate crime level. You said like where we even got that. I didn't even think that would be a possibility of getting that on the table. You know what I
Right,
mean? So
right.
so it's awesome that we could get a step to where they could take that to the federal level. Like we greatly appreciate that. And you said the conviction was to me was just. You know, and of course you look at right wing media. You said, well, he was jogging, and you said, and he was caught on camera. You said trying to steal tools. You said there's no evidence of that. You see that in the dark corners of the internet. But you said anytime there's a you said like a black victim when it comes to whether it's I don't give a damn whether it's you said police brutality, whether it's you said neighborhood brutality, you said anything like that. It's just a lot of the times the black person is villainized no matter what. You said
But
like,
no matter what it is, yeah, you're guilty automatically. It doesn't matter.
mm-hmm,
And even when they're victims, then they'll bring back, they'll try to make them a villain instead of focusing on the issue at hand. And in most cases, it doesn't matter what a person did; they don't deserve what happened. And you
mm-hmm.
can't say somebody deserved this because of something else. You can't do that because now you're trying to let them off for what happened, and that's not right.
Right, like in the case of Breonna Taylor, you said it's like I've argued this on social media. I don't know how many times they were like, well, she was dating a drug dealer. Well, she was broke up with that drug dealer, and if the police would have done their fucking job, they would have realized they already had the motherfucker they was looking for that morning.
Right.
You,
And but they still went in her house and then she got killed. And they'll just say, that's what I'm saying. They victim blame
mm-hmm.
instead of taking accountability. They victim blame, and that happens in a lot of cases when it comes to us.
And it was crazy because, like I said, just like because I love looking at the comment section because even I'm a dark humor kind of guy. You said, but so I see all this kind of stuff, and they was talking about, well, Breonna Taylor they found a body in her trunk. That's how she got fired from being a paramedic. If she had a body in her trunk, her ass would have been in jail. Knock it the fuck
Up
off.
under the jail. That's what I'm saying. People. That's what I'm saying. People make their own narratives. And
Hmm.
you know how social media goes. It only takes one rumor and then it circulates and then everybody will start believing it and saying it's the truth.
Like with George Floyd, it was like, well, George Floyd, he held a pregnant woman at gunpoint using years ago. Well, he didn't have a pregnant woman at gunpoint when that officer had his knee on his neck. So knock it off. Like.
Right, right. That was, you know what I'm saying? That's the type of stuff they do. And it's
Mm-hmm.
just ridiculous. It's like, come on now, when are we going to get past the point of doing that? And
Mm-hmm.
okay, and making them accountable. Stop, trying to victimize the victim. Oh, well, it's their fault. If they didn't live their life this way, then that wouldn't happen. But how many people have things happen to that did live their life the way they were supposed to?
Mm-hmm.
Still the same thing still happen to them. So it doesn't I feel like it doesn't matter what you do, what you say. If it's in their mind to do it, it's gonna happen.
Absolutely. Now, switching gears, you said like I saw a commercial on TV, and I guess the you said the former basketball wife Tammy Roman has got some show on MTV where she it's almost her version of Cheaters. It's like so like, and it seems like, and I bring it up because like it seems like we as a people, and we see so many, especially the young kids, and of course you see like a lot of adults too. They're so wrapped up in reality TV instead of living their own goddamn reality. It's like what do you say? What do you say when you see the people that are just followers? You saying like they just want to like whether it's politics, whether it's the left right, whether it's you saying like reality TV or you like, but it's like they're not thinking for themselves. But they get so caught up in the headline. You just like where does it hit you when you see people just like, oh my god, you just want almost want to shake your head because like all you are is a goddamn follower. Like how does that hit you when you see that kind of shit?
Well, you've been my friend on social media for a long time, so
Yeah.
I used to really make a lot of posts about this kind of stuff. But
Mm,
now I shy away from it and do more, humor and stuff like that because you can't wake up everybody, and that's just it. Like there are some people that will always be followers that will believe they don't understand that things in the media are placed there because they're trying to condition us towards certain things. So
mm,
you can't believe what you see. That those statistics, all those, everything you see is manufactured to make us believe certain things. So we act a certain way and we do certain things, buy certain things, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
mm.
I feel like I you have to cater to the people that are listening to you, that are willing to even think about it, even if they don't agree with it, think about what you're saying, process it, and look at things differently. And those people that are just followers, that they're lost. And
Right,
there's no bringing them back. You can't save everybody. You can't. That's just the
right,
way I look at that.
right. So how does it hit you? You saying like when you see because we live in these like 'cause especially with social media, you like everybody wants to be the first to jump on a story. And a lot of times they're so worried about being first to jump on a story that they don't have any of the facts, or you see, like or totally the facts are misconstrued, and things like that. You just like how detrimental do you think that is? You said like especially when you don't have the facts or even half of the damn context with the story that you're trying to put out.
That's very detrimental because you're ruining people's reputations.
Mm,
And once a person's reputation is ruined, that affects other things in their life. And it would be nice if people would fact check, then fact check the sources before they release this information. But they're just trying to get the story out so they can get views, get followers, make money, and etc. So yeah, it's very detrimental. And then other people start believing it, and then it starts this whole thing that could have been avoided.
right. Now, see, I bring that up because I was thinking about the Tasha K situation, especially with Cardi B, and then how she was ruled to pay Cardi B like $4 million or whatever, whatnot, and then now she's, I guess, supposed to be filing for bankruptcy and this, that, and the third. But then instead of you said picking other subjects to talk about, no, this motherfucker want to come out the most dangerous gang in America, the fucking Beehive, by talking about Blue Ivy. You said like now, when you heard that story, like what went through your mind? It's like this bitch, you just got your ass smacked by
Right,
talking
do
about.
you not like? people like her, that's how she makes her money.
Mhm.
And she is trying to hide it so she don't have to pay at the Cardi. But she's trying to make a living. So that's what she does. And she's not the only one that does this crap.
Absolutely not.
And there's somebody else that used to do this, and you see now they have nothing.
Mhm.
So when you make do these things and attack people, like that karma's gonna come back to you. Like it's frustrating, infuriating, especially that Blue Ivy is nothing but a child. Like why would you do that? But this is Tasha K we're talking about, and that's what she does. There's a lot of people that still like her. There's some that can't stand her. It just depends on who you talk to. But I mean, she knows what she's doing. She's doing it to get people attention, and she's very good at doing that because she's
Mhm.
always been very one.
Right now, as a parent, these like I don't know if personally I'm prepared. Use it, which is why I try to keep my kids off of social media. Use it like because as a father, as a dad, you can like I want to put them paws on you. You see,
Yeah,
especially coming.
yeah, because you're coming at my child, and we want to protect our children at any cost, you
Mhm.
know, and unfortunately, I wish, because I used to say this all the time, I wish I could put my son in a bubble and keep him there.
Mhm.
Because right now he's still innocent.
Mhm.
Like he doesn't really know how hard it really is out there and what people really can do. But we can't do that. But
Right.
as far as putting your kids on social media and things like that, I wish people wouldn't push them out there so much into that because they only have their youth one time. So
Yeah.
why subject them to them things when they don't have to really, go through that stuff.
Absolutely. Because I think about like when we were growing up, and you said it's like if they'd have caught half the shit we did on social media, so most of our
Right.
lives would be ruined.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Our lives been ruined forever. And you have these little kids that, are in the blogs. That makes no sense. Like
Right.
why subject them to that now? Like if they want to do this social media thing later on, okay, but while they're young, let them be young. That's how I feel about it.
You sitting it's like now we sit there and we'll see a Tasha K or using like we'll say Perez Hilton using or whatever they talk about actors and musicians and using entertainers of all kinds of stuff like that. What irks my nerves when I scroll down my YouTube timeline and I'm seeing these T pages for YouTubers. I'm like, like wait a minute. It's like for one, you already like it already. I already think it's weird. You sit online all day, sir. You said following Cardi B. You said the whatever, so you can report on everything that she posts on social media. But
Right.
and not listen. Let me not discredit a YouTuber because especially being one. But you said it's like you're that invested in my life. Use it to just so you can make a dollar. Use it stuff like that. Like the thing that irked me so much, especially like when it came to the Jamie Foxx situation you said like people were upset that he wanted to keep using everything he was going through under wraps. It was like you said you guys are more invested in this man's life than you are with your own. You want his doctor to come out and give us a full status update on his health, but you ain't been to the doctor since you left your mama house. You know what I mean? And it's like a lot of and basically a lot of people think that just because I follow you or because you're a celebrity or you see because I'm entertained by your content, I'm owed said access to your life. Now, somebody that's as well as yourself that's an influencer, what do you think about people that you feel that they're entitled to that using every aspect of your life?
People forget that entertainers are regular people too.
Mhm.
And everybody is entitled to some form of privacy. Yes, they understand, what they signed up for, but certain things they're allowed to keep private, and the fans and the media need to understand that and leave them alone. But they're not going to because they want to get the story out so they can make that dollar. I wish
Mhm.
that people would understand that they are, just regular people and give them that grace, but they don't.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you said, talk to me about you said your T-shirt line. You said, what's the name of it, and you said where are you going with it?
The name of the t-shirt line will be Elevation, and it'll be on Shopify. Um, I'm getting my logo together, and I've got some ideas, and I'm getting all that together so I can get it out. It should be out by the end of the year. So that's what's up with that.
Okay. Now, for those that don't know, because we mentioned like stars on Facebook, and you go now you have subscriptions on Instagram, and you said you have member programs. Also, by the way, you saying, hey, please check out the that got done membership program on my YouTube channel. Moving on, is how do you get started to where you can monetize specifically, let's say your Facebook.
Um, well, to monetize your Facebook, the first thing you have to do, you have to have a certain amount of followers.
Mhm.
Once you get a certain amount of followers, then Facebook will send you the invitation for whatever program they want to allow you to get in. Of course, the more followers you have, the more advantages you can get. But most of the time, you monetize your Facebook more with your brand deals. So you get your followers up to probably like 10,000, and
Mhm.
then you get your brands, but you can't just have followers, you have to have engagement. So the thing with building my platform is I want organic followers. I want people that really want like my content and they're real supporters instead of just having numbers. So my following is I'm going kind of slowly instead of, I could have like I could get like 1,000 followers a day if I really wanted to be honest about it, but I don't want to do it that way. I
Mhm.
want people that really engage with my content.
Right. Now, you said like, what are your thoughts? And I'll let you explain first, but you said, and I'll give my opinion of these vultures. It's just like I see it on my Instagram, especially. Actually, I see it on my Facebook Messenger. It's like people portraying to be other people to try to sell content that's not theirs. You like I think that is such a disgusting thing to use that you can do on social media. So like, what are your thoughts of people that do engage in that type of activity?
I mean, I hate it personally because if somebody took my content and stole it, because that's what they're doing. They're stealing your content, they're making a page, and then they're getting money off of you. And
Mhm.
then when you try to report it, you have problems getting it taken down. So it's really disgusting because you work hard to build up your followers, posting content and things like that is time consuming, and then someone just comes in and steals it and gets all the credit for it. That sucks. Like I really hate that, and I hope that it doesn't happen to anybody else I know. And I hope that they're making people pay for to be verified and things like that, and their pages are still getting hijacked. I feel like the platforms should protect the users more where that doesn't happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you said like, we mentioned about using buying ads on using like on your content, and you how helpful of a tool is that for somebody that's particularly trying to use and get started in this space?
It all depends, to be honest, because sometimes it depends on what platform you're doing it on. Because sometimes I feel like some of the platforms um they'll lower your things down in the feed and stuff, so you will try to you will use the ads so you can make the money and reach your followers and things like that.
Mhm.
Sometimes it works. It's like a hit and miss. You got to understand CEO and all that stuff for your ads to really work. So it's a lot of research. Don't just get it and think, oh, I got ads now, I'm going to get the followers, I'm going to get the um customers, because sometimes it doesn't work. You have to research all that stuff before you just do it.
Right. Now, like I said, with me, like I said, I'm on TikTok, I'm on using Instagram, I'm on Snapchat, using and things like that. It's just like sometimes like it can be frustrating, like I said, because and I do not use Twitter at all because using Twitter is basically the new porn hub at this point. Use it.
I kind of got up. See, on my Twitter, you know what I'm saying? I'm not in. I don't. I guess the dark Twitter. I'm not
Mhm.
there.
Mhm.
I'm in the writing community, so it connects me with people that are also writing, and
Mhm.
I get a lot of help and you know connect and network with those kind of people. But you're right. Yeah, you get on Twitter, like yes, like that's where the everybody sex tape leaks. That's the first place they go. It's and I think different people do it and use it because it gets them followers. They do.
Mhm.
Some people will do anything for social media fame, and that's one of them.
And you said, I'll tell you, you said, like I said, I've got a few followers using across my social media platforms, and you said it's like I've had some weirdos in my DMs using asking some crazy shit using order. And so I can only imagine using once I get at a higher stature, I'm pretty sure it's going to be worse and you're this, that, and third or whatever. But it's like you have to really have thick skin. You have to be prepared for this. You see, like you have to continue to remain poised at all times. Do not sit there. If you're one of those type of people, like that, if you get like if you, let's say your vice is smoking weed and you want to talk shit, or you say your vice is drinking or other particular drugs, and if you have a vice, stay the fuck off social media because you're gonna say or do something you're gonna fucking regret. I promise you that shit. Trust me.
You should, you need to hide your phone if you're gonna indulge. Hide your phone. That's the thing to do for that. Don't have it anywhere near you, and make sure the people around you not recording you because you might end up on social media.
Yeah, absolutely. And you sit there like now because we're in the age of these things right here, these and the phones and everything, and we've all dealt with a significant other or using whatever somebody we was feeling and got a little freaky on using and had some content put on a using on a on maybe it could have been put on a platform, but it was definitely in a phone. Now, do you think that penalties should be stricter for because even if like in the moment you okayed the content, but you never okayed it to be posted. Do you think the penalty should be stricter for people that do that? Because I see that a lot on social media.
I mean, yeah, but I think that they have laws against that anyway. That
Mm-hmm.
you can't post that kind of stuff. Like you can make whatever you want to make, but somebody can't take it and then release it
Mm-hmm.
because uh I forgot what it's called. But you can't do that because that's something you did in private. Yeah, like I really think that there should be laws against that because you don't want that to get out there.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
anything, I mean, just because we have phones and we can do things doesn't mean that it's meant for the world to see. And if you
Mm-hmm.
don't want the world to see it, then they shouldn't be able to see it. And a person shouldn't be able to do it, get money from it, or even if they don't get money from it, they shouldn't be able to post it and nothing happens to them.
Because you see, like I do know that there are penalties when it comes to stuff like that, but I think in a lot of the cases, the penalties aren't as strict as they should be. I think they should be stricter, like to where if you're on a third strike and you're looking at 25 to L for hitting that third strike. I think if you divulge somebody's privacy or break their trust, like to where you like to whether it's women or men, whether you're releasing revenge porn or using like or if I threw up in the car because I had a little too much to drink, you know what I'm saying? Like there should be stiffer consequences. And like I feel like a lot of times they don't using the people don't get those using the consequences and like a lot of people you've seen it countless times of many people crash and burn because one little small thing on
Mm.
social media, you know what I mean? And of course, you know what I'm saying, like we can go through lawsuits and this, that, and the third, all of that kind of stuff like that. But I think there's probably should be a few more better guardrails when it comes to the content using that's posted to social media. You know what I mean?
I think that they're still trying to come up with laws and figure out how to navigate the social media thing. So I think like later on there will probably be tougher penalties for certain things. The more that this stuff is happening because now it's starting to happen on a regular. Now sometimes
Mm,
I believe that stuff is released and it's not a revenge or anything like that. These people know what they're doing and they plan to do it. And then
mm.
they do this big story, to get attention for whatever, and then they come out with a new project or something, and like you're like, oh, okay, that's why. So that's the other thing about it. Those kind of people mess it up for people that didn't want their content out there.
Right. Well, are you aware of like two-step verification when it comes to using your accounts?
Yeah, yeah,
Is it like to you how important is something like a two-step verification using to protecting your assets? Because somebody could hack into your phone, but they can't use or
yeah.
whatever, but they can't post your content or steal your content without that Google two-step verification to actually get into your stuff.
Yeah, because because I didn't have my phone because I had lost it or whatever, and I was trying to use my computer to do stuff. but I still needed my phone to be able to get into my accounts. So that two-step verification, it was very frustrating and annoying because I couldn't do anything until I got my phone back.
Mm.
But if they didn't have two-step, the two-step verification can keep people from doing those kind of things and from stealing your identity and all that stuff. But you have to set that security up. So that two-step verification is very important. And you can also have a recovery email, but that's something that you still will need a two-step verification for. So all those protections are necessary, and you should take the time to do them and make sure it's set up so you can protect yourself.
Right, and that's cardinal rule number one, especially when it comes to the social media space. Protect yourself at all times. Like I said, if you have a vice, stay off of social media. If you're using an emotional person, like you can't handle using what somebody's going to say, stay off of social media. Use it like also be mindful of what you post on social media because we brought up children earlier. Like I said, people will steal the children, your pictures of your kids. I've seen it numerous times, and where people will take pictures of your children,
Yeah,
and it,
because that happened to one of my followers. Somebody created a page pretending to be her, and they had taken pictures of her children, and I was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe somebody took pictures of her child."
mm.
So
Now
yeah, that's very important, like you said.
you say now, like me personally, I'm one of those type of people. I believe that if you do anything when it comes to my children, I think the law needs to be changed. I think me and whoever that person that took the pictures of my children, we need 5 minutes, partner. I need my 5 minutes, straight up.
I understand that because I'm like that because I'm a mama bear. That's
Mm,
my baby, and that's why I don't. I have my page. I've had my page forever. I only
mm,
don't post them on that page. I post them only on my page with my friends and family because there are weirdos. I'm
mm,
not even gonna, we know that. So I would feel the same way. Like people don't understand the excuse me, the consequences, and it's easy to find people. I'm gonna
mm.
put it like that. Don't come for people's kids. Like, stay away from that. I mean, if you have beef with somebody or whatever, don't bring the children into it. And I hate when people do that. That's something that really, really upsets me about social media because people will do that. They'll start dragging people's kids in it, and you don't do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you saying like before we get up out of here, you said make sure give everybody your social so they can get in contact with you. You said to keep up with everything that you got going on.
You can find me on my page on Facebook on Duchess Yvette Parker. My Twitter and my Instagram are Yvette underscore author.
Okay, you said that is so super dope. Now you said like last question before we get up out of here. You said what does your DM situation look like? Because you said like because like I got some stories when it comes to my DM. So what does the situation look like in your DMs?
my my I could have I could write a book about my DMs. They're quite interesting. Um, like sometimes they'll be dry and
Mm,
then all of a sudden here they come. And I just laugh because it's funny. So if it's not the scammers, it's people that think that, they got a chance and no, because you go on their page and these people be in full blown relationships and they're in my DMs and I'm like, no, I don't do that. Get out my face. And I don't do long distance. So if you're across the country, leave me alone.
mm,
Things like that. Most of the time I don't answer my DMs unless it's people that I know. But
mm.
sometimes people go on my business page and DM me. It's ridiculous. So I
Right.
can imagine your DMs are a mess too.
Oh, mine are crazy. Mine are hilarious, and I think like I've been kind of compiling, especially like on Instagram, because like I get all these you saying fake pages on Instagram like that are pretending to be Instagram models, and they was like, yeah, honey, you saying you want to see my special content, or like the funniest thing was like, yeah, I was just reaching out. You said I was trying to see if you're one of my top fans. First of all, I don't know who the fuck you are. You said, but like other people ignore those DMs. Me, I entertain them because it is oh, it is funny as shit. It's like,
They're ridiculous though, but the worst ones are the Nigerian scammers.
mm,
I know everyone It's not a scammer, but these people all have the same script. They're widowed, they're overseas, and
Mm-hmm.
this is their story. And then somewhere I haven't never talked to them past that, but somebody told me sooner or later they'll want to visit and they need money to get here or something. No,
Mm-hmm.
like they're it's funny though. Like my DMs are hilarious. Like you said, I get all types of stuff.
Yes, definitely. Now you saying if you guys like this video, make sure you smash that like button, turn on that bell notification so you don't miss another video. Without further ado, I love you, Miss Parker. Miss Parker loves you. Lil Dub loves you. We out of here, man. Peace.
The boy Dub Deuce in the building.